March 20th, there is a contested race for county sheriff, and we are going to invite the candidates for that position to the stage at this time. Tony Childress, sitting sheriff, and Jack Weiser. We're going to give the candidates an opportunity to make some opening remarks, and those remarks, the opening and the closing actually, will be in the order that their names are going to appear on the ballot. We do have some questions for the candidates that have been prepared by the folks at the Farm Bureau, and we will be asking those questions in alternating order. So we will invite Mr. Weiser to give us his opening statement first.
Thank you very much. Good evening. I'd like to thank the Farm Bureau for hosting this event, and for all of you for taking time out of your day, your busy day, to come here with all candidates have to say. I was born and raised in Livingston County, a long life resident of the county, mainly in the Fairbury area. I'm married to my wife Patty. We have 4 children together, 5 grandchildren. I have an extensive background in law enforcement. I attended Kankakee Community College while raising a family. I worked as a part-time officer for the city of Fairbury until being hired by the Livingston County Sheriff's Department under Sheriff Tony Childress. I did graduate from the University of Illinois PTI Training Institute for Police at the top of my class. I then transferred to the city of Fairbury to become a full-time patrol officer. I was honored when Fairbury decided to make a full-time detective position open, and they offered that to me. I did serve for 13 years as the chief of police of Fairbury. I also was on the 911 board for 13 years. Part of that was when 911 was struggling with funding. We were blessed to have the county board step in and help the 911 organization help the citizens of Livingston County maintain a good 911 system. Also was on the personnel chairman and the finance chairman. That experience alone helped me to learn how to deal with budgets, multi-million-dollar budgets, looking over the county budgets, and also the personnel side helped me deal with employees on all levels and sit down across the table and deal with union issues. At one point when I worked for the Sheriff's Department, I was also in the union, so I got a chance to look at both sides of the table. My goal as sheriff, I want to be the full-time sheriff that Livingston County residents deserve. I will try to appoint a school and public resource officer to help the residents of Livingston County come to grips with safety for the residents and for our youth. I will return transparency to the police department, the sheriff's department, with open communication to the public. Communication, you're going to use that word a lot tonight. Communication is the key to any organization, private or government. Without good communication, you basically have nothing. I plan on attending regular county board meetings, the sheriff general license meetings, and any other meeting inside the county or outside that would benefit Livingston County or that the sheriff would be needed to attend. I will uphold the ethic code and lead with integrity, which the sheriff is held at a higher standard, and I believe I have that ability to accomplish that feat. I plan on running a consistent, honest, and fair and firm department. I want to be your next sheriff of Livingston County. Thank you.
Also seeking the GOP nomination is Tony Childress. This is your opportunity to make your opening statement, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Weinbrenner. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. It has been an honor and a privilege to be your sheriff for the past 4 years. 4 years ago, I made a number of promises to you when I ran for sheriff. Let's look at how I did in my pledge to you. I promised that I would bring the Sheriff's Department into the 21st century from a standpoint of technology, and I did. At the time of my election, we were one of the few departments in the state without in-car computers. I promised I'd fix that, and I did. Today, all patrol cars are equipped with brand new onboard computers, speeding up response times as well as traffic stops, thereby increasing officer and public safety, among other benefits. I promised I would upgrade the antiquated radio communications system, and I did. Today we utilize a brand new next generation radio system and a new computer-aided dispatch system connecting police, fire, EMS, and our court systems, once again to the benefit of faster response times, enhancing public safety. I promised that I would continue battling drug dealers, and I did. Part of that was acquiring a K-9 dog and K-9 officer through a private donation at no cost to the taxpayers. My department has an enhanced relationship with the state's attorney's office, and we have seen a significant increase in countywide convictions for drugs and all other crimes. I promised I'd make our schools safer, and I did. We have initiated the Safer School Initiative, using the latest technology in the schools to alert the department of any suspicious activity, along with other top-level measures that will not be publicly disclosed. I promised to take on additional responsibilities as needed, and I did. Under my watch, my department assumed animal control, and it is running smoothly. I promised to continue my endless pursuit to connect with the children and the youth of our county, and I did. It is truly one of my favorites of being your sheriff. At Christmas, we have the annual Cops and Kids program that benefits hundreds of local kids who are taken shopping with uniformed police officers without using taxpayer dollars. At Halloween, we have the Trunk or Treat program where officers distribute treats to children out of the trunks of their patrol vehicles. Both programs not only provide the children with a good time, but helps establish positive rapport between the youth and police. I'm also proud to say that I'm a charter member of the Flanagan Library Board, and I take great pleasure in reading to the children at Story Hour, at the library, as well as at schools throughout the county. I could not have fulfilled these promises I made to you 4 years ago without the hardworking men and women of my department who put their lives on the line every day they come to work. They are truly the heart and soul of this department. I am fortunate to lead them. I ask and thank you for your vote on March 20th so that I can continue to serve you and continue to lead our fine department. Thank you.
Both of you gentlemen have touched on our first question to some extent, but Mr. Childress, this will go to you first. And the question is, what are the key professional experiences and leadership qualities you've acquired throughout your career which enable you to be the best suited candidate for assuming the responsibilities of sheriff?
Thank you. 27 years of continuous, uninterrupted service at the Livingston County Sheriff's Office, I believe, has brought me to a point that I've been an exceptional leader. We've had exemplary service, and we will continue to have exemplary service and provide exemplary service to the citizens of Livingston County at our Sheriff's Office.
Mr. Weiser, the same question. What are the key professional experiences and leadership qualities you've acquired throughout your career which enable you to be the best suited candidate for assuming the responsibilities of sheriff?
Well, my background would be that I came up through the ranks. I started as a part-time person. I was in law enforcement, or criminal justice at Kankakee Community College. I wanted to test the waters. That's what I really wanted to do. And during that period, when I got to the Sheriff's Department, I decided that law enforcement was my chosen profession. After that, climbing the ranks in a small community that has problems not as big as a larger community, you learn to be more of a community policeman. But during that, you have to learn how to work with people. I think that is my strong point, is communication. Like I said before, if you have no communication, you have no organization. I've worked homicides, I've worked criminal sexual assaults. I was on a learning curve my whole life. With that being said, I know that my qualifications are not a big city police officer, but we're in rural America. Rural America policing is different than a city. Coming up through the ranks, I believe I took step by step to gain people's trust, being honest with them, to gain their respect. So at the end of the day, when I went home, I had a clean conscience. And I did the right thing, at the right time, every time.
Mr. Weiser, we're going to keep you on the microphone as we ask the next question. How do you propose to acquire and retain quality correctional officers and staff?
First off, I do believe our corrections facility is state of the art. I worked at the old jail. Everybody remembers the old jail. There wasn't much to work in. But to keep employees, you have to keep them happy. You have to pay them a fair wage, fair wage for your area. Ongoing training to keep somebody's interest up, why they are being employed under your watch.
And Sheriff Childress, we're going to ask you the same question. How do you propose to acquire and retain quality correctional officers and staff?
Thank you. That's a doubting challenge, has been since I've been sheriff. We know that we have a huge turnover in our corrections staff, and it can be attributed to a number of things. The way that we have taken a survey most recently, and we're looking at working on acquiring better candidates and bringing better candidates to the force as corrections. It does not come without some serious effort and some serious research and working with the current corrections staff to find out what issues cause the turnover that we have. So that's something that we've been working on for some time now, and we will continue to work on. And as with every other operation of the Sheriff's Office, we will work on it until we get it right.
And Mr. Childress, keeping our alternation going here, your next question is, if your intentions were to install new programs and tasks of the department, what might they be and how would they be funded?
Thank you. So, looking at all of the programs that we have already installed in the last 4 years, we will look forward in the near future to enhance those programs and improve upon those programs before we just start adding new programs. You can't just start adding new things without doing the research on it and making for certain that it's the right avenue to travel. So the things that we have in place, we have a very, very competent and qualified force and administration, and we all sit down when it's time to make and add those new programs. We sit down and we go over them very diligently, and we will look at them very closely and very, very, very magnifyingly to make for certain that they're the right path for us to take.
And Mr. Weiser, as I've got my computer to wake up again, you get the opportunity to answer the same question. If your intentions were to install new programs and tasks of the department, what might they be and how would they be funded?
New programs. I think one of the most important programs right now in everybody's mind is school safety. So with that being said, school safety is a program that needs to be partnered with the schools, the citizens, and the police department. I do believe the school is one of the first steps. I know it's too late to retrofit buildings with school shootings. I believe a program should be set in place where there are safe rooms put in the schools. When you look at school buildings and classrooms, there's one door in, no doors out. I think retrofitting or looking for the future to get the engineers involved, the builders, construction people, to construct these buildings so there is more than one avenue in and out, and if they can't get out, to give them a safe haven. Schools right now, besides drugs, are the most important issues Livingston County faces and the nation. We need to look back at what we've done wrong, and that would be a program that I would push hard for. And as far as taxpayer dollars, it comes down to this. You either want to protect your children or you don't want to protect your children. It takes money to protect your children. If you don't want to protect them, you don't want to put the money out. I have grandkids. I've had kids raised in the Prairie Central School District. I have grandkids across the state. Once again, programs like school safety, I'm going to harp on that all night long with communication. You can put certain fundamental barricades in schools, like safe rooms. We have buildings for tornadoes. In Roanoke, Illinois, the gentleman built a brand new factory over there. A tornado came through. He put people in that concrete barrier to save their life. If a Baptist shooter comes to a school, you put him in that room. It's a temporary safe haven, but it will get them through. That is a program that I'm looking at. But as far as funding non-taxpayer dollars, I'll say it again. You will keep your children safe and spend some money, or you don't.
And once again, Mr. Weiser, you get the next question, and it has to do with the administrative responsibilities of the sheriff. We'd like you to cite your personal experience in departmental budgeting, correctional operations, emergency dispatching, administration, and logistics, all of which a sheriff must master.
first one is budgeting. Okay, budgeting. I was the chief for 13 years. I had a budget. Each year I would look at my budget and I would adjust it accordingly from the year before. I never overspent my budget. If I had money left in my budget, I would put it back. I don't believe in spending taxpayer dollars just because you have money left in the kitty. What was the other one, please?
The next one on the list was correctional operations.
Corrections officers. I worked with the Livingston County Sheriff's Department at the old jail. I was a road deputy and I was a corrections officer part-time. That question, not being experienced enough to answer a total corrections question, I'm gonna have to say I'd have to do some research on that and get back to you.
The next one on the list was emergency dispatching.
I was on the 911 board for 13 years. My wife Patty, when it first was implemented, she was one of the first employees of 911. Talking with her from how it was accepted until it is now has been a lot of change. When 911 first came out, dispatching was at best just dispatching. Over the years, being on 911 board, we strive to use the best equipment, the best equipment, the best equipment that the taxpayers could afford, that give the tools for the EMS, the fire department, and the police to use.
The last elements were administration and logistics.
Administration is, you are the captain of the ship, per se. You have to be there for your employees constantly. Administration comes down to, once again, doing the right thing every time, period. The second half was?
Logistics.
Being an administrator, that's kind of, I'm thinking two separate things there. One of this is being available for your employees and the citizens. Logistics, as far as getting equipment back and forth between officers, that'd be something that's very simply worked out. It's communication.
Very good. Thank you, sir. That's a complex question, and we are not going to spare Mr. Childress answering it. The question reads like this: cite your personal experience in departmental budgeting, correctional operations, emergency dispatching, administration, and logistics, all of which a sheriff must master.
Absolutely, thank you. Absolutely, a sheriff must master that, and in the last 4 years, I have mastered that. We have a 4.5, better been a little bit over a 4.5 million budget at the sheriff's office. Every year during my year as sheriff, we've came in meeting that budget and came in under it. The only time that we spent money that was left over from that budget was to protect our employees by putting a bulletproof glass in the window for our 3 secretaries that sit there and meet the public and in the door. So that issue is taken care of. Now, as far as communications, dispatching, I sat on the 911 board for quite some time as my tenure as sheriff, and I worked personally on the new radio system as well as the computer-aided dispatching system that went into 911 for our communication telecommunicators known as dispatchers. So that issue has been taken care of at the Sheriff's Department under my tenure. As far as corrections go, once again, I've administered that budget. That part of our budget is somewhere around the area of $2.5 million, and that budget has always came in where it needs to be. The other part of that was administration. Administration, we by far have an administration at the Sheriff's Office which is next to none. The administrators that I have are superb. They are, I consider them superfluous. I am very blessed to have the guys and the women that work at my administration because they are by far the best. And the last part of that was...
The only other element is logistics.
Logistics. In most instances, circumstances dictate logistics. And I'll just leave that right there.